Hey, peace and blessings, everybody. We locked in. We locked in is in the building. Uh, just want to let y'all know, man. This episode right now, we're gonna be dealing with actual the breakdown of defining culture. I got some people in the back about to pull up. Hold on, let me add them to the stage now. Uh, gentlemen, salute. Welcome to We Locked In, man. Uh, First, man, we gotta first. I want to let everybody introduce themselves so they know who the people are. Introduce yourself to the people. Starting with Rico. Rico, go ahead, man. Let them know who you are, what you do. Get your man table tonight.
What up, man? I'm Rico, aka Rico the Plug. I am a professional networker, what I like to call myself. You know what I'm saying? I like to bring the right people together and create something out of it. You know what I'm saying? So I have a platform called theraphustle.com where I promote and market independent content. And yeah, I'm just here to help. You dig?
Truly.
Yes, sir. Drizzy, my God, man. I see
What's
you.
up, my baby? What
I
going
can hear
on,
you,
man?
man. I can
Everybody,
hear you.
peace, kings. You know what I'm saying?
Peace,
I
man.
just want
Yo,
to say it's a
listen, man.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Just
let the
want to say it's a
people know,
pleasure. It's
man,
an
who
honor.
you
You
are.
know what I'm saying? My name Micah. They call me Drizzy. From New Jersey, been in Atlanta 20 years. Social justice advocate, community organizer, curator, a social networking event curator, independent contractor, humanitarian philanthropist. We just here to push the culture. Push the dial along. You feel me?
Yes, sir. John Oliver, man. Go ahead, let the people know who you are, what you do,
Hey,
man.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, my name's John O. I'm a podcast slash author. I got a book to help men with childhood trauma, and I'm on a mission to help 100 million men heal from childhood trauma.
Definitely want to look into that.
Yeah,
Opportunity granted.
Yeah,
yes, sir. You already know, man. Kevin KK4, EM3, Evolved Minds Illuminate Men, Women, and Children, Global Fraternal Beneficiary Society, where we bringing our people together to actually build private institutions for our people, businesses for our people, provide all type of services, uh, loans, health insurance, health benefits, help build businesses and educate them on numerous levels. Hold on, let me add Queen to the stage. Queen, the money magnet is in the building. Salute, Queen.
So
Salute. Go
cool.
ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Great day, billionaires. It's your girl, Queen the Money Magnet. I'm an income acceleration coach, financial literacy coach, also a mentor and community builder. I'm the founder of the Building Unity community, so I'm here to collaborate, educate, and tonight for the Real Welfare Check, I just want us to have the unity that's in motion. And I want to thank Kevin for having me every week on here.
So always, man, as we introduce, man, shout out to my co-hosts who, they out there doing the actual work right now. My boy going for his masters. Our guy, he got Mikey. He's doing speech class, whatever, because he's been tearing up the city now. They've been calling him out to go talk in different places, so they've been busy at night. And what we've done is created this particular show, this Tuesday night show, called the Real Welfare Check, Unity in Motion, where we actually check in on our people's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual well-being, and also show them what it looks like when we're unifying, when we're coming together as a people, and how we can actually get things done more so together than individually. Last weekend, those who were tuned in, those who were here last weekend, it got very, very deep. We had a brother Big Blue from the West Coast pull in. We had our boy Jarrell Sweets from ITF Sports. He had pulled in with the movement he got going on with with the paintball and bringing paintball to the community, actually introducing them to a paintball league, right? Actually bring some revenue, dealing with trauma, everything, whatever, to our people. So the discussion last week actually started going into culture, because those who came from gang culture or hip hop culture, whatever culture you want to define, right? We started getting into it, and we wanted to go just like, you know what, we got to actually go into defining culture, because so many people get lost in that word, right? What is culture, or what is our culture, or how does culture shape a people, or how is it necessary, how is it necessary? So I actually did a little research, right? And I had got 10 points, that we can actually go over. If you want to expound more and bring it, I am welcome to it. You know what I'm saying, if y'all got other insights. But first though, I just want to just ask everybody a particular question. What does culture, or black culture, look like to you? Anybody can tap in first. It don't matter. Yeah.
At this point, the way that the internet is going and the things that's being presented to our people on the internet, our culture looks like hate right now. I'm just keeping it 100. It looks like we find any reason to hate on each other. You know what I'm saying? Any reason to talk down or break down each other, man. And we just got to do better. That's all. That's how I look at it.
Um, to me, black culture or culture looks like working together, providing resources amongst one another, collaborating on ideas, purchasing land, educating our children. And like Rico said, there's not a lot of that going on right now. But that's what culture looks like. So once we get back to that, once we understand being trauma free, being generational thinkers, that's what culture looks like to me.
Mhm. Make a Drizzy.
Yo.
Nah, go ahead. We was asking the question now, because we was going on the topic of actually defining culture, right? And
Okay.
what does that look like to you? If I was
What
in
that look like to me,
our culture, when they say, "Oh,
our
black
culture.
culture," what's black culture to you?
Hey, like I'm gonna be all the way honest with y'all. When I think of black culture, I think of like cosmic shit. If I could be just frank, like I think of like cosmic, like just cosmic shit, like everything. Like I feel like black people, the culture itself embodies the essence of God. We may depict it or display it in certain manners that may be understood or misinterpreted. But I feel like when I look at the culture, to me, that's what I see. But it sounds like when I think of culture, I think of beats. First thing I think about is like like Afro beats, or just like drums. You feel me? I don't know why. It's just me just visualizing what I see. But like I agree with a lot of things the sister said as well. It's empowering when it's uplifting. It's actually taking time to acknowledge the size of ourselves that we do not even like in order to heal, in order to start like moving forward. Like you feel me? Because like we got to be in an example of this. I mean, we basically got to be the change we want to see. But the black culture to me looks like power. It looks like it look like revelation. It look like revolution as well. It's so many things I can say, but to me, in totality, I'll say the black culture to me it look like the essence of God embodied. You feel me? To me.
John,
Uh, can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, you.
Black culture. It looks like this. It's just different forms of it, like different ways to progress and understand one another and understand where we we understand where we lack and is another person could be their strength. To me, that's all it is. As simple as that.
So do you think now? I know some of us said, because I like Rico well, because he actually dealing with what's happening now, because we have ideals, right, on what we want it to look like, right, on what we feel it should look like, but what is it? You know what I'm saying? So you say black culture now, we may want it to be those things and aspires to be those things, but is it that? Is it that right now? Anybody can interject.
I personally don't think so. I personally don't think so. As a whole, it's not for the majority. I don't.
No, I agree. Right now, black culture is more formed around hip hop, negative influence, murder, killing each other, demeaning our women and men, not collectively coming together or supporting one another. in most areas on a bigger scale. There are smaller communities that come together and display what we talk about as culture, but on a global scale, I don't see that.
Mm. Anybody else?
I
So
mean,
we're gonna.
me myself, I would just basically what she said. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we up against something that's more powerful than the love that we have for each other, man. You know what I'm talking about? And
So
that's
one
go ahead,
One,
go
one,
ahead.
one- well, one of the things though I had wanted to bring to attention because when we said that last week, I actually went and did a little bit of research, right? Just to bring it and actually what defines a people's culture. Because now, in order to fix it, in order to correct it, or bring it to what we all see, right? What we all see it as, right? We got to know the actual points of it, right? So the first actual thing, it was 10 of them that got it. Might be more, but it was 10 of them that I got, and the first one was actual language, right? As far as when you define a people's culture, right? And how language pertains to how we, how we communicate with each other. You know what I'm saying? How we gel with each other. So if you notice, all the other cultures ever basically still have their own language, right? Their own personal language, right? Thank you, Queen. So now, when you have that, said language, one of the meanings said language plays a crucial role in defining a people's culture. So it reflects their history, right? Their beliefs, values, and traditions, right? The unique words, expressions, and dialects used by the community to contribute to their cultural identity, right? And that's just the first thing. So on that first aspect, please just give me some feedback though on the language aspect and how do y'all feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Actually seeing that defining culture.
So I 100% agree with you. And I've also been studying culture and nationalities over the last few months from working with the Million Woman March and the new Black Panther Party. And I've realized how many different nationalities there are and how confused many of our Black people are here in America. So studying and talking to people that are over in Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia, they have languages. They have this. But here in America, we don't know exactly where we come from. So we don't know what to study to understand.
Mm.
And that's what I've come up with so far in my research is that other places have their nationality, they have their languages, they know their flags, they know their bloodline, they know who did what in their history, but because we're over here in America and we're just considered black, what is black?
Well, it's not only that, but remember the language we talk is English, which
English.
it, that particular language is already considered a bastard language, is what they say, because it derives from pieces, different parts and pieces from other languages to
Right.
create. I'm saying that was created, and then on top of that, right? There's what do we call Ebonics, right? Ebonics or slang or the England's people where they say they speak proper English, but doesn't identify to us and where we come from.
Right.
So if I'm talking to you in English, I'm not an Englishman. I'm not from England, right?
Right.
I identify with the roots of the words that come there. Like, for example, like when you had use, I know like our people in like you said, Ghana, Nigeria, whatever, and you see when they come over here how they're so close and tight knit. And one of the reasons being not the color of the skin, but the actual language, right? Because they have language and they're able to speak to each other and express certain things to each other in a way, right? That's intimate, right? That's intimate to their people. And we don't like that's one of the things like we don't have that. So being that we don't have that, we start trying to manufacture ways. So this is how we come up with slang, right? And
Yeah, and
different.
I know this isn't culture or a real language, but my family speaks Pig Latin. And it's not a language, but a lot of people don't most people don't know it. And we feel so different when we're out in public because we speak it.
Yeah.
And other people be like, what are they talking? And I'm like, I on the way, okay, hey, ire, eque. And they be like, but it gives us a sense of nobody else knows what we're talking about but us. So I can see the importance of language and
That's
understanding,
it's
even
crazy.
with
That's on a
twins.
small. That's on a small scale. Because even
Very
in gang,
small.
yeah, and even in gang culture, like I come
I
from
was
that.
just gonna say that.
Dudes use that. Dudes use their own lingo, code
Right,
words,
right,
signs, whatever that actually bonds and creates a, you know what I'm saying,
right.
intimate between dudes, and it shows you how important language is to a culture. But black people in America, we don't necessarily we sharing, we using the same thing everybody using. So actually, it hurts more than anything. It causes a divide, right? So that's one of the things. The other we gonna put. I'm gonna give you number two, Queen. Your thought. The second one. The second one is customs and traditions, right? So customs and traditions, it goes and say customs and traditions are practices and rituals that are passed down through generations. They encompass various aspects of life, including celebrations, ceremonies, social norms, and etiquette, providing a sense of belonging and identity to a community. All right. Customs and traditions. Let me throw that up there. Boom. So yeah, it look like we can ready to go. like we go ready to go in customs and traditions. Yeah, we
I
go.
mean, it's like, what are our customs and our traditions besides what has been handed to us through the United States? The economic holidays. Other than that, what
Yes.
do we have as, I don't even like using the word black because no nationality considers itself a color. They
Exactly.
have a nation. They have a nation where they come from. But what is our customs and our traditions like going to the club? I mean, with that,
Hey,
celebrating tax season. I don't know.
you
Well, we
know,
got a long way to go, man. When you break
oh,
this
bro,
down.
bro. It's you know what's crazy, right?
Hmm.
Because even looking at when I was looking at, I said, "Damn, customs and traditions," and it's like that's a big part when you're defining your culture, right? You like this is our culture as a people. So what customs and traditions are our own, right? Every damn holiday either not only are the majority of the holidays fake, right, and made up, like we already know, like everybody know that all the information is out there, right? We
Hmm.
believe in the rabbit lay eggs, right? Like it's crazy. Even Jesus being born in the wintertime, right? And the thing
Right.
like we believe all of these like stuff that they give us, and it becomes a part of our culture. Things like Thanksgiving became a big thing, knowing that they slaughtered people for Thanksgiving was that's their reason for celebrating it. But what is actually like ours? So they started with things where they just started with what Black History Month, right? A, one of the eldest holidays, Martin Luther King Day, right? Um, Carter G. Woodson attempted, and I loved what he started, but not enough of us gravitated towards it, right? And we couldn't make this a bigger thing, which is Kwanzaa, right?
Hmm.
Like I love Kwanzaa, and that was the reason though for Carter G. Woodson actually starting Kwanzaa, right? Because he's seen one of the things with actually building a culture is having something of your own. It's like, oh, bro, like let's create this for our people, and make it about us, collective struggle, collective economics, faith, right? All these things that are in there, you actually doing something with your family and having some bringing some historical perspective to the celebration, right? Not getting caught up in that, but it's like we we don't have it, like. And I'm sitting there still trying to think, like, what we went through the slave trade, we went through everything. It's just like, damn, what customs and traditions do we really have, right? Soul
Not for
food,
real. Not for real. Like, I don't
basic
mean to
soul
cut you off,
food
but
is
I was like, but how do we know? It's so many of us from so many different places. Do we at this point do we create our own? Or do we do our blood test and then separately try to figure out how to adjust to what our bloodline goes for?
mm,
I
Yeah,
think it go. I think it goes to. I think it goes to just understanding that we'll never get back everything we lost. It just goes back to you just got to unify. I personally think you just got to unify the way you're going to unify, and just understand that it's never going to be what you think it's going to be. You know, I personally think that. You know, it's just like what we're doing here, right? We're creating a change, and it may not be the idea we thought, but that's the change we're creating for the next generation to understand. I think we can get up in the dynamics and the rhetoric and the this and this and this, but I think at the end of the day, if people just understand the one common cause and just go that direction, I think that's what we have to do.
yeah. You
That's
you
me
you are
personally.
you absolutely you're absolutely correct. So it takes, but it takes a lot though. You know what I mean? Not just that, us really pulling our resources, us really coming together to work together. And I'm saying us humbling ourselves enough, right, to be able to listen to the next individual, right? Understanding this. But one of the things that helped me, right, that helped me in prison, right, that opened my eyes up tremendously was education. And I noticed like, damn, when you once you start knowing certain things, it's like, all right, now you know, now you have an obligation to yourself to do something because now you're gonna hold yourself accountable. I'm quite sure y'all know how they once y'all find out something and it's like, damn, you start going against it, you're gonna start looking at your own self like, damn, I know better. What the hell am I doing? How I keep, you know what I'm saying? Like make it so now what we can do, I mean, us coming together, us, showing unity and motion is actually educating the people, giving them the actual knowledge and tools. So now, once you have the knowledge and tools, then it becomes when we do the follow up and start holding people accountable. Now, right? Like, all right, what's up? What you doing? You know,
Mm-hmm.
what you doing? Because some things that we don't look at, like this, when I seen customs and traditions, and it's like, all right, what defines a people? What defines a culture? And it's like, all right, the second point, customs and traditions. What customs and traditions do we have that weren't given to us? All right,
Do we
what do we
have
have?
any?
Like serious. And I remember me someone was talking about soul food, and they're like, oh, bro, once you know that soul food is basically really considered right, it was the worst of the worst food that were given to the slaves, right? But we just because we who we are, we made that thing taste like something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We hooked
Because
up
of
whatever.
the season.
Yeah,
And
word
in
up. We hooked
reality,
it
we're
up.
not
We,
even
we hooked
fueling
it up
our
and made
body
it.
anymore. I think that comes from customs and traditions as well. When we were who we were in the past, we understood nutrition. We understood how to fuel our body and not make our body full.
Yeah.
So I'm with that. I'm with that. So I really want whatever we gonna do and make it a culture. Y'all count
Yeah,
me in.
yeah, hell yeah. Somebody had put the what did he
I
put?
think
Oh, the Black Panthers started the WIC and free lunch program. Now the government does WIC and free lunch. No, no, exactly. So that's another thing. I'm glad you had pointed that out because that is another thing. When we do start things and when we do build, right, making sure we have ownership and control of what we do have instead of just starting it, allowing someone else to take credit for it, but us really being, who we say we are and protecting that.
Let you go. What's up?
Hold on, I think we got
Can
Jay
y'all mute
Sweet.
y'all real quick?
Hold on, I got to
Um,
mute. I
there we
got.
go.
Hold up. I think Jay Sweet just came. Yeah, so the third one, I'm gonna give you the third one now so you can put up the third now and defining culture. Now, this is what we're doing, right? Defining culture. So we're actually going through a step-by-step thing so everyone knows, right? So once we actually know actually thing, we can look at damn how our culture is defined, right? Number three is art and expressions. Art
now
and
we do
expression.
have hip
So
hop.
art, so art and expressions, right? Art forms such as music, dance, painting, sculpture, literature, and theater are powerful expression of a people's culture, right? So they reflect their creativity, beliefs, and aesthetics, and often serve as a mean of preserving and sharing cultural heritage, right? So
Right. We do have hip hop for that, but it is being destroyed because the economics. You know, when hip hop first started, it was all about expressing yourself and being original in your expression. Now it's just all about getting the bag, and everybody's trying to do the same thing that somebody else is doing. So the expression of self has been taken out of the hip hop culture, and I don't know. I think that's probably where we would have to start trying to rear it back to what we need in order to create our own culture because we can't just rely on hip hop no more to be our culture.
I remember that's only one aspect. So there's more. So it's like say like my number is 10, and it could be there's other aspects though too, because there's things that go with like nation building, right? And
Mhm.
media controlling institutions, right? Factories, things like that that come apart in it, right? Army. There's a whole bunch of other aspects that come with nation and culture. But in just the cultural aspects, only having art and expression, but now not even controlling the art and expression, right? And that becomes the problem because now we're not controlling the arts and expression, right? So there
Right.
are artists out there that are that are giving themselves correctly, that are saying things correctly, but through mainstream media and everything else, those are not the ones that are being promoted and paraded around for everyone to see. All right, go ahead, Queen. Sorry, go ahead.
So I'm I'm like 50-50 with what was just said because the music that they make now is their culture. That's what they've been taught. That's what they know. That's all they know. They don't know about the music that came before the 90s. I was born in 1990, so I have a different experience and I'm able to identify with the younger generation and the older generation because I lived in both.
Yeah,
And what I've noticed with being the age that I am and having a child when I was 15 and watching her grow and seeing the things that are going on, we that's their life. That's their experience. So it's not a good experience based on what we know from the past, but that's what they know. So what we have to do is educate them better so that they can have a better story to tell because that's what they're talking about. They have absolutely no idea. I was watching a young man who was crying because his mom put him out of his house because he wanted to be a YouTuber, but he didn't know how to wash his clothes. And he was about 15 or 16 years old, maybe 14, I don't know. But I know he was between that age of high school. And everyone was up in an uproar because they like, oh, well, you want to be a YouTuber, you know how to do this and you know how to do that, but you don't know how to wash your clothes. Was he supposed to come out of the womb with that information? Or was it the responsibility of the generation before that to make sure that he was educated on what was needed?
It's definitely the generation's responsibility,
I
and
can't
I
hear you,
think
Kev, too.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I
go
can hear
ahead.
you now.
Okay, I was saying it's definitely the responsibility of the generation before to teach the generation that's coming behind what to do, and I think that's where we fell off as a culture. It's like going back to the hip hop aspect of it. You know, before the people started making the millions, it was all about each one teach one. As soon as they got the millions, it was like forget you, I'm getting up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm better than you. I don't need to show you the way. I don't need to teach you the way because I already know my way. And if you got to find your own way, so I think that's where we fell off at.
But what about the people that were like at home, like your grandmother, your mother,
So
your father, your
so
next
now
door
to
neighbor?
that
When I grew up, my next door neighbor could whoop me. My next door neighbor could tell me, "Don't eat off that tree because of this and that," but it stopped when I became a teenager. There were no instructors no more. There wasn't any instructors. There was no one that was saying. By the time I was 15, there was nobody educating us that took their money to put into marketing, to take their money into education. They just took their knowledge and they just kept it
Mhm.
with them. But the people who were ignorant, the people who did push a certain type of
She trying to follow
agenda,
me.
they had the bag behind them. So the question is still kind of posed as, is it the younger generation's fault that they don't know?
So it's not like to that. I say it's not their fault, right? Now this is the reason for when you say defining a culture, right? Because now when you say culture, culture is a thing involving an entire people, right? Culture is involving an entire people, right? So the other aspects of culture is, like you said, your neighbors. They interact, and we're going to get to the matter of fact. Hold up, I'm gonna go to the next one. We're gonna go to the next one now because the next one actually goes into what I'm about to say, which is beliefs and values, right? So now the beliefs and values of a people is what shapes them. So it's something that we all know, that we all recognize, and we're already on the same page about. So now when you're expressing yourself through art, music, right? It's coming from a standpoint, it's coming from a standpoint of certain beliefs and values that come from our people, right? Not the beliefs and values of mass media, right? Not the beliefs and values of an entertainment company looking to get some money, right? And what's going to sell, right? And
Right.
how are we going to, oh, we know sex sells. You talking about culture, we talking about we know sex sells. So what we're going to do is take these particular artists that are uh, overly sexual, right? Or overly violent, right? Because people like action, just like action movies or whatever. So now we're gonna push them further, right? Distribute
Mm-hmm.
them more, let people see them more, right? For monetary purposes, not caring about culture. We're the ones saying, "Oh yeah, hip hop is culture," but we're more than hip hop, right? Because we don't know. So we say, "Yo, hip hop is culture. That's our culture." It's like we say it, but when you look at the root of it, and no, it's not right. It's a part of it, right? Because it's a form of art and expression that really comes from us, but it's not controlled by us, right? It doesn't come from our, like number four states, it doesn't come from really our beliefs and values. It comes from a standpoint of someone that doesn't have anything, someone that was oppressed, right? Someone that was beat down, someone that was deprived, right? Or I see myself, somebody who's in prison come out, and the beliefs and values of the gang or what I went through in prison become my form of expression in art.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make it uh, a cultural a cultural thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. It's not everybody's belief. Yeah.
So what it says, or it breaks down, it says beliefs and values shape the way people perceive the world and guide their behavior, right? They include religious, spiritual, and physical and philosophical beliefs, as well as moral and ethical values. These beliefs and values influence social norms, family structures, and interpersonal relationships. All right.
Mm.
So now you see how deep beliefs and values get.
Fact.
It's not just a thing whereas we're divided religiously, we're divided philosophically, right? We're
Mm.
divided politically, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
called 46 methods of assassination. And like we're divided on all of these particular planes, but not realizing social as well. Not realizing that it adds to us not having a proper culture to call our own. Mhm. Come on, I don't
So
want to keep going. Jump in. Yeah, yeah.
is it safe to say that um, capitalism is our culture?
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking that.
That I guess that would be the definition of our culture. Because if everything we do is for money and about money, then that's all we believe in, right?
That's,
Everybody anxious and
you
perpetuated.
got a valid point.
You
You
feel
got
me?
a valid point. Because now the people become confused now between what culture you want and what culture you actually are following. Right?
See,
Right.
that's why I'm gonna play devil's advocate again,
Go ahead.
because it's not just a black people thing. I
That's right.
lived in many different
That's right.
communities, and right now I live in the Mexican community. Been there for 4 years. It's an American culture. It's an American teaching. So I'm always gonna play the devil advocate. Y'all know I'm gonna play the devil advocate. But
Mm-hmm.
It's not just our people. Literally, I deal with the mentors that I've been getting reached out to with people that's been calling me about the mentorship program that's starting next week. It's not our people.
Mm.
I would say 75% of the people who've reached out to me over the last 3 weeks about in registering their child for the future builders from the block to the bank, it's not our people. But
Mm.
I reach over 1 million people a month on one social media page, and majority of those people are black. So it's an American thing as well. The mindset of these young look at the little Chinese kids now. They're doing the same thing.
Facts.
So we got hit first. We got hit hard due to slavery, but it's not just an attack against us. America has an attack against all of the American people.
And you know what? You know why? You're absolutely correct. So now that goes into something else. That goes into a whole political point. But the reason why we suffer, right, the most, right, is because we can't identify a proper culture because we're still
Bingo,
confused.
bingo. That's
So
true.
the
That's true.
like you said, the Mexicans, Chinese, what any other thing, they'll go through it and they'll have struggles in their small struggles though in their community if their people start straying off, but they still have that sense of culture, whereas they can wheel them back in, right?
Right. Right.
And
Right.
it'll look like, and that person or group or whatever, they would look like rebels. They would look like somebody outside the norm, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I got a friend that's on social media, right? He's a social media influencer, right? China Mac, right?
Mm-hmm.
So China Mac be all over the place, right? China Mac eats. He was running around with Crip Mac. Everybody, right? But he came up in the hood with us, right?
Right.
People always still criticize him because he's Asian, right? But he talk. You hear him rap, you swear like, hold on, what? You would never figure he looks like how he looked if
Right.
you hear him
So
if you hear him rap,
Nah,
right?
for real.
Right.
I'm with you.
But it's people still question that. Not even his own people. You got black folks that'll say something. So, yo, how you a culture vulture or you a boo because of that? How?
And in reality, that's another problem that we have in
How?
our community is that the fact that we accept the ignorance and claim it as ours. We're claiming it. Oh, if somebody got braids or selling drugs or doing whatever they doing, we be like, oh, how you gonna do that? How you gonna rap? How you gonna talk about selling drugs? How you gonna do that? That's ours. There's
and that
such
ain't
a
all.
pride in ignorance.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Right.
And that just come from being confused though. You being confused thing, whether your culture is American or you come from a village or town or city somewhere in Africa, right? In one of the 54 countries over there, or you come from South America, right? Not really knowing, or you come from the islands, right? And your culture is based there. Even you see, it's crazy because I just now even you see with black folks that come like from the islands, like Jamaica or whatever, even they have more sense of unity and stuff amongst themselves, right? Because of the small aspects of culture. They don't have it all, but the small aspects of their culture that they have, right? That keeps them together, right? And they're able to stick together a little more than those black people that are just in America, right? And one of the things, the next thing, I don't know if Queen's still here because I haven't put the next thing up. Please.
I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here. I'm
the
sorry.
next one. The next one is food. Is food and cuisine.
Mm.
All right, food and cuisine. That's number
Dang. I look like we got 1 out of 5.
5. Maybe got 1 out of 5, right?
Yeah.
J Sweet at J Sweet was coming up. I haven't. Let's see. So now it's crazy because now with the fifth one, and it's crazy where you go with people from the Caribbean, right? That come over here, and something as small as food and cuisine can keep a people together, right? because now we know and can identify. Like, yo, bro, you go to where you go to get this, where you go to the get some jerk chicken. You going where? You go to Jamaican spot.
Mhm.
Oh, let me put that up there.
But do we have any cultural foods as quote unquote Black America
Soul
besides
food.
chicken? besides chicken,
Oh, some of the things that you
I
say,
guess.
but it's associate all of the food that they say associated with us is associated with slavery,
Right. And is that something that we should be proud of?
and is that, but
Dang,
not
man,
not
what we known for? I be hungry.
not hold up, not even not that we should be known like even known for, but it's something that unifies the people, and the thing that does is what fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, collard greens, cornbread.
That
Mhm.
sounds
but
so good. I could go for all that right now.
but you know it's crazy that the thing is, where does it come from though? It came from, it's like that's one, but that is something that does bring us together a little bit, but it's still warped, like the arts and culture, right? Just like that,
Mhm.
how it's kinda, but we don't have control over it. Like even with the food and cuisine, somewhat, but it's not really ours. We kind of just remixed what we had. What we had to eat, we just remixed it and made it taste good, and that's the thing that do it. Because Sunday dinners became a staple in households and black households, but that became a staple because of slavery. So you say that's it's a cultural thing that does identify us, because all black people do identify with that. But it's like I said, it's identifying with something that's kind of wrong.
And
I would
then
say wrong.
even in that sense, the corporate has took over the food in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it like this: Bill Gates owns probably about 80% of the farmland in the United States. Like, what is the guy who started Microsoft doing with all the farmland?
Somebody
Yep,
just
they
put in
got the
there.
GMO foods now.
Yeah, somebody, my boy,
Um,
just put in there okra. He said okra comes from. I didn't know this. He said we
oh,
specialize
I didn't know that either, but I
and rice
love me some
cultivation. He
okra.
said African women brought okra seeds with them during slave journey. Wow.
I
Thank
didn't
you
know
for
that.
that. I'm going to research that. I love the comment section. Share this with y'all friends.
Said
Share
my
this with
mom.
y'all friends, y'all.
Yeah, make sure, yeah, we ain't even stopped thing. We started going in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure y'all share this, man. We are defining black culture, man. Those that be out there that's lost, that needs information, that want to tell them, share. We need to share it with your people. Tell them to pull up. I mean, they got any questions, whatever, feel free to ask. Any information they want to impart, feel free to give it. I mean, 'cause you know what we on, man.
I noticed that someone said we needed to get back to farming, and
Yeah,
we
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 do.
are.
So it
I've
says
noticed
food.
that.
So food, it says food is an integral part of culture and reflects the geography, climate, history, and available resources of a region. Traditional dishes, cooking techniques, and dining customs provide insight into a people's heritage, daily life, and social interactions. So this is the power of this is the power of food and cuisine and really having your own. So when people talk that yo, yeah, yo, having your own, we talking about on every aspect. So people
Right.
really can understand how deep this is. Not borrowing, not remixing, but claiming what is ours, being proud of what is ours, right? And keeping it amongst ourselves. So now when you go to a spot, it's like, yo, come get some black food, black soul food. But once our people started, being woke and realizing like, man, I ain't really feeling that's slave food. And a lot of times you start getting educated, you start realizing, yeah, that's the bottom of the barrel food. Like, what the hell I want to eat that?
Right.
Once you start knowing
Right.
and get knowledgeable, it's like it's ours, but damn, that's the bottom of the barrel. Shit come from
I'm
thing.
so
Wow.
guilty of saying that
So
yesterday.
yeah, but it's just knowing that and it's just being real with ourselves, right? And knowing like, bro, what's ours? Where we come from? Right? What our people eat, right? Like I started trying other dishes, like African dishes, like it's like seafood pepper soup, right? I just taste Nigerian did fire, right? Jollof rice, right? that that jollof that jollof rice,
You ever
fire.
had couscous?
No, I didn't yet.
Oh my God, it's so good.
No, I didn't yet. Even when you see them eating with their hands, I go to a restaurant and the guy was showing. He's like, "You eating it like you're African." I just want to do it because this is, they take the that dough thing and they dip it in the
Yeah.
sauce and boom. But it's so. This is the beauty of it. When I went to this restaurant, guy put a little bowl of lemon water, regular water in there, and just put some lemons in there for me to clean my hands when I eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is an African restaurant though, but it's just looking at the culture and traditions of our people, and it's like
Because they
certain things gotta,
understand the importance of our skin. That's one of the biggest organs of our body. So if you're
yeah,
not taking care of your skin, if you're not generating the minerals and the nutrients that you need, if not absorbing them with your hands, with your feet, that's why I don't wear shoes like that unless I have to come out. Because I want to be able to touch the ground with my feet.
yeah,
That's what it heals you. Yeah.
And
I
and
mean,
and that's why I respect that we're going over the fact that what is culture? What are we here for? What are
we
we
don't.
doing?
What are we doing? So the next one is number 6 is clothing and fashion. All right,
well, we
clothing and
got that.
fashion.
We got that.
Listen, it said clothing and fashion choices are influenced by cultural norms, climate, historical influences, and individual expression. Traditional attire often symbolizes cultural identity and can vary greatly, be different in communities, right? So it's crazy because you said, oh, we definitely do have that, but do it, do it, huh? Hold on, what brand? What I'm about to say? What brand he got on right now? I was about to ask you what brand he got on right now.
Hold on,
Yeah,
wait.
show your breads. Like show your breads.
So my brand,
I
Black
me,
Credit Conversation.
I ain't had no black thing, man. I had a
Every
damn,
day,
I
every
had
day
a
I
damn
wear something
Versace
black.
T-shirt on, right? And to come to find out, they stole this design from my people.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of everything. Even the hospitals, Red Cross, all of them, they've stolen so many symbols. Even look at Black Panther, and I don't want to go sidetrack because I know we got to be, I know we got to get done soon. But
Yeah,
Black Panther, they made a whole movie, marketed it, made all the kids feel great, and I love the fact that they say, "Oh, okay, yeah, our kids see the superheroes, they're learning about Africa and all this stuff like that." But in reality, they're not. They're looking at it like a superhero. And if you look up Black Panther, you're not going to find out that the Black Panther Party was built to help serve and protect. It's so hard
Absolutely.
to find out about the Black Panther Party if you put in Black Panther. It's going to show you the
The
cartoon
movie.
and the
Right.
movie.
yeah.
That was done on purpose.
Right.
They could have made another superhero. I never heard of Superman feeding the homeless people, and they just took over that. They did that on purpose. Just like they took the serpent with the thing across from Africa. They took all of that and made it something else so that when we
Made it
see it
something
and we
else.
identify with it, we don't know what it really is.
Yeah.
Even our genetic makeup of 666 is like let's turn that into something evil. And you know what, they do that because they know that our people are the most spiritual people in the world. So anything that has to do with the devil, we're gonna stray away from it. Even though that's not the case, like 666 has nothing to do with the devil. It has everything to
Every
do with
every
our makeup
everything
and
we
our
do,
mind.
we do without effort, and they know that.
Yeah.
Look at
So you,
Queen. Look at Queen. Look at Kevin. Look at you. Look at me. We all do something effortlessly that they have to work 3 times, twice as hard for. Right?
Right.
Queen up here, she got knowledge, street knowledge, like that. They have to work 10 times as hard, so they have to psychologically bring it to the masses. Like, oh, these people ain't shit. That's really what it is, right?
so
Right.
If I know a lion is the most dangerous thing, the only thing I can do is manipulate it and make it. Oh, he's worse or whatever. But that's just how the line operates.
So I
Bingo.
wanted to respond. I wanted to respond to this, right? Because before we go to the next one, because I see a lot of our people, right, make this comment, and a lot of times the comments be made. I don't really know their perspective, right? Because I have a lot of African friends, right, and one of the things that they do get mad at about our people is when our people be acting more American than African, right? And they see that it's like you just like them. You talking about you're not like the colonists or the boom, but a lot of us do act like that. Like you said, with what was the capitalism? Like some of us actually do get into these forms of this and be more American and culturally more American than we are culturally African, right? Some of us do act like that, and a lot of them see that, and they think that they'll treat us because we used to treat them foul. I know, like I grew up, we looked at anything like Haitians, Africans, whatever. It was like dudes looked at them bad, like they weren't us. Like you poor third world country, oh you
Right.
stink, oh
Yeah.
you this, you smell bad, you got a this, and like we
But that's
always
really
now,
what some black people are. That's what they think. That's what they're taught.
and
So
that's what, and it's the same thing. So I'm
yeah.
glad
So
you
it's
said that
not all
to
like
address bro
I don't know
wisdom
no
B.
Africans that
That's
don't like me.
That's where that comes from, bro. Like that propaganda to have us divided was deep. Them showing this one little town in one country in Africa where you make people that and try to make it seem like the whole Africa look like that. Some people, and I know it's crazy. I realize some people still think that you
Africa's
because
not
Africa's
the
poor. They really do
yeah,
still think that. Celebrities be thinking
But
that. I'm like,
but we
bro, I can go on old Nat right now and take a video of
but
somebody right on the side of the gas station and make it look like this is the worst place in the world, and then ride 10 minutes down the street and it's gonna be big mansions, ponds, all these different things.
all right.
Like,
But
I'm
let
here with you.
but we can get that with the gang culture, right? Look at Kevin, right? Spent 25 years in prison, right? One of the smartest, most highly intelligent, and people say this all the time. People in prison are some of the most highly intelligent people. They just got fucked up in one situation, whatever, and that is looked at as it's on all the levels. You know what I'm saying? You look at this one part, and
so we'll go to number seven. Number seven, right? Number seven is architecture and design. Right? So architecture and design, architectural styles, building materials, and design principles are influenced by cultural traditions and historical context, right? So they reflect a people's values, lifestyle, and aesthetic preferences, as well as their adaptation to their natural environment. All right. You
What
got it?
was it?
mm,
I'm sorry, I didn't get
You
to
got
get
it?
it.
Architecture and design. Number seven, architecture and design. And I knew somebody's gonna put that up fast. We built the pyramids. That's right. That's right. That's right. And you know what's crazy, right? That is something that was taken, that we did lose, right? Not only did lose, but a lot of times don't get credit for because a lot of America was built by us, right? And you see some of
right.
these same structures get identified to how certain structures in ancient Egypt was actually built too, right? Certain the form of the skyscrapers, the obelisk, the way certain buildings were shaped, even certain streets, right? And they adopted like from our people, but you notice if you go into architecture and design, certain designs be given to a people, right? Like we know this arc or this shape is an Asian, you know what I'm saying? Asian people, they usually build their buildings like this, or African certain ways after they build their things like this. Uh Arabs, they have certain norms of shape they build. So it's like identifying that as like, all right, what do we specifically have that we can say I'm a Black American, we can say, yo, that's our architecture and design. That comes from us. That comes from the value of our people. That comes from the strength of our people. That represents our history, all of that. And this is another one that we do not even have, bro, at all, and don't get recognized for, and don't unify behind, unless it's what the trap museum, right? We got that, right? Oh,
Yeah, because
but
we don't use our hands no more. It's like we don't use our hands to build anymore. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we leave all the building up to the Spanish people. You know what I'm saying? And they have more influence in building these days than we do. But we got to remember back in the days, like when they freed the slaves and it was free enterprise, that the biggest construction companies in the United States were all black owned.
mm,
And you know, when they took down the Black Wall Street, that's when they really kind of messed us up on building, and you know what I'm saying? Because we knew that if we build something, they was gonna come and tear it down, so we just got scared and stopped building. You know what I'm saying?
True. I've noticed in many neighborhoods of our people, which I at first I was complaining about some properties I bought back in St. Louis. I'm like, man, look, these properties been sitting here since I was a kid, 1990, 1995. I was riding past these properties and nobody owned them, but there was so many pictures and colors. Like matter of fact, it's just ironic that I'm sitting next to one of the pictures like that I
yeah,
used to see growing up. Let me
science,
see, how do I
yeah.
get in there? There we go. Boom. So I'm like, but maybe that is our art. Like they want the buildings to be gray and black and all that stuff, but we want pictures of the people. We want to celebrate the people who meant the most of us to us. When I bought that property in St. Louis, I said I'm not gonna change it. I'm not gonna take down all the paint they got because I actually like it.
Hmm.
But can't nobody do nothing about it because I own it.
So you know what's beautiful? What I've been seeing, there is an art revolution going on amongst our people, right? Whereas they are getting together to actually not just, and the biggest thing here is it making it yours and owning us, owning a thing together, right? Not you say an individual does something, they get some claim and they go to this company over here and they're dealing with them and they take over it and it's theirs. Like, no, when we say culture, and this from a cultural perspective, meaning us as a people, right? Identifying, recognizing, claiming, right? Claiming and knowing that this is ours. These is our
Right.
painting. These is our structures. These is our designs, and then letting the world know that as well. There's a thing going on right now that is I forgot her name, that sister is doing, and she's there was some materials, some artwork and designs that was taken, and it's in different museums, right? And they were claiming it as their own. So there was proof that they actually belonged to a certain people. So now, a certain country in Africa. So now they're fighting, actually getting them all that back. And there's a
Right.
huge monetary value behind it as well. So it's like
Hmm.
us really owning it and really having it as a people. So this is it's just so many aspects, man. When you look at it, like, damn. So you're taking from
You
one
know
to
what?
seven. We already went through seven out of seven
Hold
of
on.
them already.
Let's go
Okay.
back to this though. When we
Yeah.
do design things, we don't appreciate we don't appreciate our people that design these things. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at the fact that like World Star Hip Hop. Let's just take World Star Hip Hop. World Star Hip Hop was created by a black man. You know what I'm saying? And we we didn't appreciate it enough to keep it in the community. Matter of fact, we let Viacom come in and purchase it and turn it into what it is today. Every time we build something, we always get it whitewashed or took over because us as a people, we don't appreciate it enough to appreciate the value of it. You know what I'm saying? We'll probably look down on it. Like for instance, right now I'm building the platform, the raphustle.com, and it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to get my people to, you know what I'm saying, to come on, let's rock over here and share each other's, you know what I'm saying? Let's share all our stuff here and get the people to come here like they was going to World Star Hip Hop. But this ain't about fights and then it's all about our creatives, you know what I'm saying? My
Yeah.
platform is to help share our creatives and have a place where we can create our own, you know what I'm saying? We don't need the industry and all that. You feel me? But people aren't gonna appreciate that until it blow up and then somebody else comes around and tries to buy it. then that's when we'll appreciate it. But I'm not here to sell for the, you know what I'm saying? I didn't create it to sell.
So that's, and it's crazy because that is the issue, and I don't think it has everything to do with you know our people not either supporting or hating. Like, I don't know if it is the powers that do be against us as well. So part of it be us really not supporting, right? The other
Hmm.
part be the other powers and mechanisms that come against it. So you have a powerhouse company fighting against another company, a small upstart company, right? That's ours, and it's like, all right, they'll start using their particular leverage, and being that we already are lacking, right? We already
Hmm.
are lacking in all these other
Resource.
aspects. Yeah,
Right.
so all these other aspects of culture. So it's like the divide is already in there, because if you're coming and you saying like, yo, bro, I got this. I'm on, yo, this for the folk, bro. This for this, like this for black people, bro. This for us, man. We doing this, man. Da, da, da. Like what? In their mind, they may want to support it, but they already been Americanized. They already in
Right.
American culture. So American culture don't give a damn about none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
American culture is all about
The money. Right.
word, money,
Is it money
propaganda,
over there? Right.
trickery, using some game to boom, like that's what it is. So it's like, all right, we get so deep rooted in that we don't even see who we are. We can't even identify really what culture is. If we saying, yo, all right, black culture, all right, as we're seeing now, right? When we point out to the people, culture is more than just music, right, or art, right?
Hmm.
And even the music and art in that particular culture has to represent the beliefs, values, strengths, and all
The
that of
people.
that
Right.
particular people, right? So
Hmm.
now, all right, your music is your culture, but your music is not representing everybody.
Right.
See how Afrobeats is becoming so famous, right, and so big now, right? Because everyone can identify with it.
Right.
We
This a
all can.
vibration. Right.
Word. Everybody relates to it. So everybody can get up, everybody, right? And
Yeah.
it's not a problem. So we say with certain art forms, it's just now really us being in a position to actually control and do it. I want to get to the next one. Put it up. A social organization, right? It's the way a community organizes itself socially, including its family structures, gender roles, social hierarchies, and community dynamics. It is an essential aspect of its culture. These structures and relationships shape social interactions and behavior patterns. Right. So I think this is one of our biggest
The biggest.
downfalls. Right. I really,
The biggest.
yeah, I believe this is one of our biggest downfalls, bro. Because
Definitely agree. Definitely agree.
like it's just everything, family structure, gender roles. There's so many topics in this in social organization that we could actually go into, right? The relationship of the black man and the black woman, right? The whole independent thing or thinking, the whole feminization of manhood that's actually going on, or the bashing of the male that's actually going on. Um, how we actually fight against certain societal wrongs, right? That's
Hmm.
even divided, right? In a sense, I mean, only time we may even come together if a white a white police kill a black
What are we
person.
talking? Right. 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 Right.
You know what I mean? Then it's like, all right, people like we in the uproar, we feel some type of way, right? All right, but you're not in the uproar about nothing else, right?
Right.
Nothing else. Little kid get shot because these motherfuckers having to shoot out the block, ain't even shooting each other, but somebody else get hit behind that, right? Or even not even that, two teenagers getting into a thing and actually one of them kill each other, right? Or even allowing certain things to go on in your actual neighborhood. Right? And everybody becomes, because now when social organization takes it play, that means your community is your community, not just you just in your house isolated from
Right.
everything that's going on around you, and you not paying attention to nothing. You just gonna mind your business, right? And that's not social organization. social
It's not.
organization is not minding your business, right?
I
Yeah,
mean, you
like
got to think about it. These days, we don't even know our neighbors. It's like, I lived in Atlanta for 20 years, man, and man, I could count. I would need more hands to count on the people that were neighbors to me that I knew, and then when they left, I didn't even know them no more. I didn't see them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or I couldn't even count on one hand how many times we had community get-togethers. Like, you know what I'm saying? If it had nothing to do with rap, like how we don't, back in the day we used to have block parties. We used to, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We used to have different things to bring the community together. Now the government makes it hard for us to even do that because they put in so many stipulations on what you have to do in order to organize it. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because I heard about a lot of things. I'm young, so like a lot of us having stuff like you had susus. That the communities used to put together rent parties. I heard that's how the house party actually started. It started because
Hmm.
of rent parties, right? It's the community just coming together. Don't listen. We gonna make sure you good. And when you have that, we used to do block parties. We used to do bus outs, right? Like certain guys who have money in the neighborhood, they rent a bus, take families and kids, and go on a
Right.
trip, right? And it's like we like none of that is happening, right?
Community centers.
Even I'm gonna say even the smallest thing as a good solid community center. You don't even got a solid community center, bro. Like there's not even solid community center. There might be one in the city somewhere, but man, neighborhoods probably like that. That's way across town.
Right.
Go over there. Ain't going over there. But every little hood had they little community they could do whatever. You can go there, chill, kill it there,
Right.
play sports, arts and craft, and oh man.
It was community togetherness. It was like we don't even socialize on social media no more. You know, like what we're doing right now, man, this is a social thing right here. You know what I'm saying? This is what social media is about. People coming online and getting together in groups and talking about these certain things, man. Like this needs to happen more, you know what I'm saying? And it's even better because we have a social media, we can reach people across the world, you know what I'm saying, from just sitting in our front room or whatever. But we don't even utilize this for the best for what it's there for. We might post a picture of our new shoes and stuff like that or what we did, but we don't even socialize on social media.
So
I
even
do.
even with this, right? So this channel, we be getting a bunch of people in the building, hundreds of people, right? But a lot of times it be when we're interviewing like some notorious guy from a neighborhood, right? Guy that was
Right.
involved in you know
Murder and stuff like that.
crime
Yeah.
and gang banging and everything else, right? And we throw a name up there. Hey, yo, son, we about to sit down. So the numbers would be crazy. Everybody be right,
Right.
talking, chatting, saying stuff. But it's like when it comes to this right here, right, the real meat, right, real thing that actually
Nobody
person
listens.
can actually learn from it to be like, man, the numbers actually shoot down. And my boy was just coming to say like, yo, bro, you gotta really market it. Say you're gonna have on there. I said, you know what? I don't even want to tell who's gonna be coming up here, right? I
Right.
don't even want to
Right.
really let you know who's gonna pop up because I don't. Sometimes I don't know who's gonna pop up, but I don't want to make that be the reason, right?
Right. You
Even
can.
though
Right.
even though it's good to do that, right? Even though it's good to do that sometimes because boom, you pull more flies in with honey, shit, right? So it's like, hold
Hmm.
up, I mean, but like, nah,
It just
let them
depends on
know.
your
Pull up.
values and like,
Yeah,
oh,
let them use this. Pull up. You really
right.
trying to grow, educate, and build. Pull up because now relationships is being built from this, right? Everything that we do here, relationships be getting built.
Right.
Numbers be
And it got to be
exchanged.
genuine.
Like when we do this here every Tuesday, hey, when we do this here, nigga, this is what it is. Always.
Right.
Bro.
You know
Always.
what? Like I said, I stayed in Atlanta for 20 years. I just moved back to Minnesota last year. And I come back here and I don't want the people here, like I'm trying to build this grassroots movement from here and make it spread across the world when it comes to this rap hustle. But I don't boast on what I did in Atlanta while I'm here, because I don't want you to deal with me because of who I know in Atlanta or who I know in the industry. I want you to deal with me genuinely because you genuinely want to deal with me, and then I could open up the can of worms of who I network with and things like that. So, I mean, because it has to be genuine. You know, love is genuine. You know, we got to get back to the love. You know what I'm saying? First of all, we got to start by loving ourselves before we can love anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Don't believe nobody that tells you that they love you and they don't have love for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't love me if you don't love yourself. Let's start there. I just
So we're
want
gonna get to,
genuine love. Huh?
so we're gonna now. I was about to get to the number 9 thing of the week, so we can move on. Um, So number 9, education and knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So remember, education and knowledge is the transmission of it. I forgot the word transmission. Education and knowledge transmission, right? So it's how our education and knowledge is given, right? The methods and values associated with education and knowledge transmission play a significant role in cultural preservation, right? Whether through formal education systems, oral traditions, storytelling, or apprenticeships. Right? The passing down of knowledge ensures the continuity of cultural practices and values. Right? So this is why we said, right? Remember earlier the question was asked, do it come from the parents? Do it come from, yeah, it comes from the generations before. And we always have to be mindful of that, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's something that's it's how education and knowledge it's basically how it's passed down. So we do what was taught from those generations before us, right? How we talk, how we act. Soon as we like 4 or 5 years old, you see a kid already mimicking, saying things that they hear around them, actions and all of that, right? From their parents or their siblings, right? So the same thing comes with if you're identifying with a particular culture or not identifying with a particular culture, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
know that we get that our education and knowledge get transmitted from the people that colonize us, right? Like we know that. Everybody should know that, right? That shouldn't even be a question, right? The education and knowledge that was handed to us, right, came from the people that enslaved us, right? So that is a fact. So,
Right.
but now that when we know that, we start looking at a certain thing like the educational system, and now I've been seeing with social media, with everything else, that education system was built specifically, right? It was built specifically to make workers, to create to accommodate a working class, right? That is not our educational system, or the one that we would say culturally ours. That's not the one. That's not how we teach ours. So that's another thing that actually becomes foreign, right, to our people as far as when you're defining culture. So if you're going to define your culture, you have to be able to define how your knowledge and education is transmitted. My mother was the earth and the nation. Hold on, let me see this. So my mother was the earth and the nation. I didn't appreciate that when I was young. I love it now as an adult. All right, so now it's crazy. I wanted to show that particular statement, right? The brother had met in the comments, right? Because when you're taught a certain way, it's gonna become a part of you, right? And a lot of us may not get it when we're young, right? But when you get older, you're like, damn, my mom was a part of the nation of God's earth. So my father was he was Muslim. My father was this, and you try to teach me these. Like, oh, okay, all right, and like now I get it. But now we have to really understand how stuff is being given to us and what we taking in, because now it becomes a part of you, and we don't even realize it. We don't even realize it. This is remember, there's 10 of them. We're going down. We on number 9 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And out of those 9 things that we actually been through, there is not one of them that we can say fully that we fully control, own, and operate, and say we have that culturally, right?
Right.
The two
Mm-hmm.
that we can is like, all right, man, we got it. It's so it's so what's I'm trying to think of a word for it, bro. I think it's been so infiltrated. I guess you say
Infiltrated. Yep.
infiltrated. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I guess it's been so infiltrated that you can't even. We don't
We
even
can't even claim
recognize
it
it.
as ours. We can't claim it as ours.
We can't. You we can't. So hold on, I'm gonna get to number 10, and we going do the actual wrap up, right? Number
Mm-hmm.
10. Let me see. Nah, this thing is, bro. This thing is real, bro. And this is something that I had learned in the prison. Study it. It tells you, man. Study your enemy. Right? If you're in a situation, you're trying to grow out of something, you're trying to build. Study the same people that put you in that situation, right? That's like brothers that's going to prison. Right. So we
Mm-hmm.
understand the system, but we understand it both ways. There are people getting paid hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to make sure you get the sentence that you got. Right. People that feed their families, right, to make sure that they actually lock people up. That is their job, right? To make sure they make laws against a particular type of people, to make sure that these sentences is handed down, to make sure that you don't break out of prison, to make sure that you stay in a certain mindset, whatever. There are people that actually get paid for that. So when you understand the level of this thing, it's just knowing that, like, damn, if they're doing that, what the hell am I doing?
Right.
What am I doing? How am I building myself up, right? How am I building myself up enough to even escape out of that? All right. Hold on. Let me get to this
First,
last one.
first you got to know you in it.
Yeah.
Like the Harriet Tubman quote. I could have freed more if they would have only knew they were slaves.
Hold up. Say it again. Because people don't be understanding that, man. Say
like
that again.
Harriet, like Harriet Tubman said, I could have saved hundreds more only if they knew they were slaves.
Only if they knew they were slaves, bro.
Like folks don't even understand they slaves to the system. Even the monetary system, you're a slave to it.
So I'm gonna put that next one up, though. So I just love that statement that he had just made, man. And it's so true, man. There was another statement that she made too that I love. She was like, "You go be free or die."
Mm-hmm.
Like when she pulled out Pistol out and told him, like, we ain't got time to play. And a lot of times, man, people don't realize that part. They look at all
Mm-hmm.
freedom, but how hard it actually is. Those particular things, you know how hard that was for her. How hard that was for her. You trying to
Mm-hmm.
free a person. You trying to free a person, and they don't even think they enslaved. Like, hold on,
And
I'm giving you the answer to everything you need, but you don't even realize that you need it. I gotta threaten your life for you to be free. And people there are like that right now.
mm-hmm.
Right now, bro, there are people like that. So number 10, relationship with the environment. The relationship between the community and its natural environment is often intertwined with its cultural identity. Traditional ecological knowledge, sustainable practices, and spiritual connections to nature contribute to a people's culture. All right. So that's this. That's another thing. Yeah, y'all have mentioned a foot thing about grounding, right? And that's something that's been learned. People been getting and learned recently, but that's something that our people always done, right? That's something that our
Mm-hmm.
ancestors always done, but it wasn't a part of at least not Black American culture, right, or American culture. I mean, like we didn't look at that. The American culture, like relationship with the environment, we already know the relationship with the environment over here. He's destroying anything, anything for sale.
Mm-hmm.
Eh, anything for sale. Well, let's those that live in the South have a greater appreciation for it. But us in the city, you get buildings and small. Relationship with what environment?
Mm-hmm.
There is none. I mean, honestly, there is none. And it's sad that the sad part is culture does evolve, right? But now, when it's evolving in the wrong way, and the dynamics of it is not conducive to the people, right? And is more divisive and destructive than anything, then
Mm-hmm.
we can't claim it as our own.
Right.
We can't
Can't be
because
proud of it at all.
yeah, nah.
But I'm gonna tell you, when we had the 50-year anniversary, 50-year hip hop anniversary, I was thinking to myself, what are we really celebrating? I mean, what is it to be proud of? If all we have now is a self-destructive culture, then what the fuck are we celebrating?
Mm.
You know, especially
So
when the youth are not even involved in it anymore.
shit, we celebrating 50 years of a new type of slavery.
That's it. Monetary slavery. That's it.
Monetary slavery.
Monetized slavery. Monetized. Let's call it monetized slavery now, because let's think about what's going on with P Diddy right now. P Diddy felt like he was in a position where he could do anything to anybody and get away with it because the people that was backing him. But you got to understand, once he put that lawsuit in against those folks for that liquor company, you notice everything started going in a snowball effect for him. Oh, you think you have some kind of power? Okay, we're going to show you. Let's
Now
pay
you saw,
attention to the Let's pay
yeah.
attention to the fact that Cassie married a handler.
Mm.
That guy that she's married to is a handler. He's a Jew. All of a sudden, she has the confidence to sue him when she was scared for years. You feel me? All of a sudden, everybody got the confidence to go against P. Diddy when they were scared for years. That's because the handler said, okay, it's his time to take a downfall. And we're going to make sure that he don't get away like Kanye got away.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's
It's
just,
crazy.
and that, but that's a big part though as well in defining, and bringing back just to start wrapping this up, man, in defining culture, because now when you become a part of something and you're confused, right? When it's like, oh yeah, American culture. Do you know how foul the American culture is? Right? Do you know like what it was brought up on? What are the tenets of it? How they like the dog eat dog mentality or the capitalist mentality, right? Or the doing anything to get ahead, right? No
Mhm.
matter what it takes, right? Whereas certain laws and things that are put into place, these people plan 30, 40, 50 years in advance to keep themselves in power. Right. So now if you're becoming a part of this, I mean you're forsaking everything, uh, everything that you naturally stand for, the essence of you, what you really stand for. And then now when it comes to it, and it's like, oh damn, he was doing all that, yeah, yeah, for the sake of money and power, because that's the American culture is about money and power.
Right. And hip hop offset their plans for a while there because you got to think about it. When hip hop started, they was not paying no attention to it. They said it was going to be a fad, it was going to come and go. But when they realized the power behind it, they had to take a back seat and be like, hold up, how do we take control of this thing? Because it really was empowering us as a people. You know, when we had the X clans and you know what I'm saying? You know, when Tupac came along and he had the power to just motivate people to do things, they was like, hold up, this ain't the plan. Because if they continue to go in this route, then they will be uplifted. So we got to find out a way to break them back down. So they had to take Tupac out the scene. They had to take, you know what I'm saying, just the mindset of wanting to be better. They had to take that out of our psyche. You know what I'm saying? And just like, here's a bag of money. Now you got more money than everybody else. Tell everybody else how you got more money than them. You know what I'm saying? Make the people now
Yeah,
like Jay Z becomes famous and all we're thinking, oh, he's signed to the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they had to create a way to bring this down because we was on our way up until the check came. Remember on I'm gonna get you sucker when the dude went into the house, went into the shop, and the white people was there talking about brother and all that, and
yeah.
he asked the guy, he was like, "What happened?" He was like, "Well, we went in with guns and came out with jobs." You know, ever since niggas got jobs, they ain't here no more. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody had put in there, and I want them to realize like why this particular segment, this episode, uh, a real welfare check on how he's going into defining culture, right? Because he had put
Mhm.
in, uh, he's saying that Diddy, he was black culture, or you know what I mean, or he embarrassed the culture. That's the whole
Yeah.
point of this. What culture,
Right.
bro? What culture did he represent? And that's what we have to understand and get away from. Saying people represent our culture. What culture did he represent?
Right. He represented the culture of money, making money.
So this the thing. Realize this is why we take you through all of these particular steps, so you actually see what defines a culture for a people, right? What defines the culture for a people, right? So if we're looking at everything that defines a culture for a people, right? You go, we have none. We have none. You can't say did he represent the culture? No, he represents music labels and moguls and da, da, da. That's what
Right.
he represents. He represents artists and musicians in the music world. That's what he represents. All right, because those are the people he associated himself with. Those are the things that he did. Those are the things he lived out on his day-to-day life. All right, that's what he did. Right, even if he
Yeah.
helped, he did some philanthropy work. Right, I heard it helped. Still, that doesn't make him the culture. Right.
Right. Philanthropy work is just a tax write-off. That's
Yeah, it doesn't make you the culture. And that's what we have to realize. Learn what culture is. Right. Once you actually learn what culture is, before I go, I'm gonna take you through those 10 things right now. Where you learn what culture is. Language, customs and tradition, art and expressions, beliefs and values, food and cuisine, clothing and fashion, architecture and design, social organization, education and knowledge transmission, and relationship with the environment, right? So these particular 10 points, right? There possibly is more. These 10 critical points though for defining what a nation is, right? Is that covered by this rapper that you look at?
not
Like
at all.
no. No. Is it covered by this politician that's speaking and da da da? No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. Mm. So, yo,
This is an
anything
eye
else?
opener for me. It was an eye opener for me because we have a sense of the hip hop being our culture, and it's only one part of what culture really
And out
means.
of that one, look though, just breaking this down though. Look, out of that one part, right? So I'm gonna break. I'm gonna give it to you, right? That part is art and expressions, right? So music is just a part that falls under art and expressions, right?
Hmm.
Hip hop is just a part of a type of music. We do all type of
Yeah.
music.
All
We do
type, yeah.
all type of music, right? So because
Hmm.
we express ourselves in so many ways, so we do all type of music, right? So any form of expression, but it says art forms, music, dance, painting, sculpture, literature, theater, right? All of those are powerful expressions of a people's culture, right? It reflects their creativity, beliefs, and aesthetics, and often serve as a means of preserving and sharing cultural heritage, right? So that's what the
Hmm.
art and expressions is for. So if it goes outside of that, like we said before, it'd be what we call damn, what we call it? We say agent provocateurs, right? Or infiltrators.
Culture
That's
vultures, right?
yeah,
Culture vultures, right?
yeah, culture vulture, we'd say infiltrators, right? People that come in, right, to try to disrupt things. So now they start tapping with some of the music because they see that the music is unifying them. They notice. Don't think that these people don't understand the science. They notice. They know that that music is a powerful vessel, right? That music can unify people. They know that,
The
right? So it's like,
vibration, yeah.
yeah, so hold up. If I could get them to promote this type of music on this type of frequency and get these, we got them, right?
We can
So
destroy the culture.
yeah, we do a monkey wrench in the game. Bam, we got them. So now you can have little girls talking about let that. I don't even want to say it, but you know the damn songs they be saying out the female songs, whatever they be saying, it should be crazy.
Sexy
You got,
dance, yeah.
you got little kids, them saying singing this nonsense, whatever. So this is what you saying is your culture? What?
Right. Ski.
You now? Fuck, like what?
It's sad, man.
Yeah, man. But bro had to say, yo, I get you. Like he get it. I get you now. But it's I get you now. Anything before we roll out? We've been over here going on an hour and a half. Usually I shut down an hour, but we got some folks on here. you know,
I think this is a topic that needs to be looked at like other people need to look at it. Even the, like the people who be online, like what's his name? Umar Johnson and things like that. We're always talking about our culture, our culture. Well, let's start here.
defining culture first.
And what culture means.
Define what culture means. Then we can say what's our culture. Once we know what culture is.
Right.
Right?
Because I'm gonna tell you something that my partner had told me one day, because I've always be talking about us as a black community, us, our people,
I'm like that.
and he
I'm
was
like,
like, he said this to me. He was like, man, your people are the people who identify with what you identify with. Just because they got the same skin color as you, don't mean that that's your people. And it made a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
within this culture of hip hop, we got the gang culture, we got the drill culture. You know what I'm saying? We got the backpack culture. We got, you know what I'm saying? We got different cultures within that culture. So we can't define that as our culture, as a whole people. I can't hear you. Are you muted?
Yeah, yeah.
I can
So
hear you now.
it doesn't reflect us as a whole. I mean, it's a deviant group of us that went off that need to get grabbed and put back in, you know what I'm saying, and get checked. So that when people talk about in the hood, everybody in the hood ain't a criminal. Everybody in the hood ain't a drug dealer. Everybody in the hood ain't,
Ain't no
prostitute.
gangbanging.
Yeah, like everybody in the hood ain't doing that. So when they identify with a small group and take that small group to represent the masses of people who are beautiful, strong, intelligent, you know what I'm saying, and like courageous and does things, it's like, hold up, nah, y'all doing us a disservice. That means we have to get control of the narrative, right? And start sharing. And this is why these particular uh, episodes like this, when we linking up and coming on here like this is why this
Mhm.
happens. This is why this is important, right? For us to be able to push the narrative and show what it is. Because now everybody can see, oh, this is my culture, this is my culture. Like, nah.
Right.
How you say that that's your culture? What does culture mean? What defines a people's culture? Right? And you ask them that, what defines a people's culture? And they can't answer you that, then they can't tell you what the hell their culture is. They don't even know what the hell the meaning of it is. They don't even know the
And
meaning
then
of it is. So hip
just
hop is your
going
culture.
just
Like,
going to that word black, like it's like a tricky word play, the black culture. Because black is void, right? If it's blackness, that means there's nothing here, right? So,
shout out to
what is
D
the
Time,
black
man,
culture?
chat. Nah, I just wanted to thank bro, because son just for the super chat, man. He just sent some money and put a book on there as well for brothers to read,
Mhm.
man. And this is what we talking about. D Time from out west, man. And this is what we talking about with those individuals, man. That's about their people. That's about building, right? And those that's moving forward, right? That's about their business. Bro, always here. He's always putting up not just some knowledge, but he put his money, he put his money where his mouth is too. Love that, man.
Yeah,
Shout
that's
out
dope.
to
I'm
you. Mhm.
definitely going to check them books out, man. That's another thing. We need to start a reading culture.
So he said somebody had put in there what happened to one culture, right? So this is why there are different people, right? Different tribes and nations of people, right? Even nationality, even certain communities and cities, everyone has their own particular culture, right? That identifies who they are. So your culture represents your beliefs, right? Your actions, your morals, right? Your heritage. It shows all these particular parts. So where you actually come from. So say if I'm from New York, right? So I come from Queens, right? So I'm like, yo, I'm from Queens. All right, so you can say Queens got a little culture, but that's if I lived there and my ancestry was there. I can go back hundreds and hundreds of years. So the very practices of my particular group would be represented
Right.
by that same group to this day. hundreds
Right.
of years ago. So there still be it may be things of how we dress, our language, how we may talk to each other, right? There's certain foods that we have that's amongst us. So this is what actually creates culture. So when you have nations or have a people that's been stripped of it and doesn't have none, then those people become lost, right? And they start adapting pieces of other people's culture to make up for the loss of their own, right? So when they start
Mm-hmm.
making up their own particular culture, right, for the loss that was taken from them, it's like they become confused because now there becomes a void or something that's missing inside their spirit. Like, damn, I feel awful a little bit. I ain't really with this. I don't really like this, right? Because a black person don't like hip hop, right?
Right.
Or any other forms of music. Does that make them any less of our people because of that?
No.
No, no, it does that because when you go into music, you go into art and expression. So it becomes bigger than just a
Hip hop.
foul song. You know what I'm saying? A song you may not like, it becomes much bigger than that, right? It becomes a representation of struggle, a representation of history, right? A representation of the value and beliefs of a people that go back ages. And that's what's been lost.
Right. On that note,
And on that note, Queen of Money Man, she stepped out. I was about to have her say something before we roll out.
she said she had to be on set.
Oh, yeah, she about to go and set. John,
Yeah, yeah, I'm still here.
yeah. Now I just want to say, give the people something, man, before we roll out.
Hey, man, very appreciative of this conversation. We just, we doing it. I'm very grateful to be, to hear this conversation. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah, now Rico. Oh yeah, Rico had said what he said. You got anything else for?
Yeah, man, I just want to say thank y'all for having me on this call with you, man. Anytime you want me to come, I'm available. I will be there. Anybody listening to this now or later, man, make sure that you an artist, model, entrepreneur, independent content creator, and you need marketing and promotion, man. Sign up for the raphustle.com. It's called the Rap Hustle because that's mostly who you see hustling when it comes to music is the rappers, but we support everybody who's a creative, man. White, black, Mexican, don't make a difference, man. Everybody needs promotion and marketing, and that's what we're more of, a promotion and marketing website. We just share content also. So the raphustle.com, let's hustle together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, you are now tuned into We Locked In, and we are definitely locked in on purpose, man. We locked in on responsibility. We locked in on accountability. We locked in on progression. We locked in on that work. Right. And I just want to thank y'all for pulling up, man. I appreciate you, Rico, man. First, we gonna definitely be in tune, be in touch. I already know I'm gonna tell the queen, make sure she make that connection. Um,
Oh
we doing a lot. We doing a lot. We doing a lot, man, that we're working on and that we're building. And this is all about. This right here ain't really for, even though we say hit that like button, subscribe and share and all that. We do that for the thing because we on here, but we ain't even about that. We about us networking
yeah.
and us building. The more of us is doing that, the bigger we get, and we gonna get the real people to pull out. Like my boy D Time. You know what I'm saying? Those that's really, really about it. You know what I'm saying? To
Right,
really come and help build this thing and change the narrative for the people. So with that being said, man, find freedom in you. We are locked in. Make sure you tune in next week, man. Tuesday at 8. Plus, we got some other interview stuff coming this week. Friday and Saturday too. Make sure y'all tune in, man. We locked in. Love y'all.
church.